Just 1 month after the horrific Battle of Gettysburg, a 4-day horse racing meet was held in Saratoga Springs, New York. That was 1863. And tonight, over 160 years later, it is here in the heart of the Empire State that horse racing fans are gathered for the penultimate race day in the inaugural season of Chris Lewis's Google Sheets based horse racing simulation Dynasty Fantasy League. I'm Jimmy Rakes, your stride by stride guide tonight as we welcome you to Saratoga Racecourse. Originally slated to host the Breeders' Cup meet on race day 18, the Graveyard of Champions was gracious enough to switch with Lewis Downs and host tonight instead on what would ordinarily be a beautiful late summer evening of racing. I say ordinarily because the rain clouds have gathered as the sloppy tracks at Saratoga await a 6-race schedule. Hopefully, stable owners stick around for the long weekend to kick back and enjoy a lemonade during an otherwise gorgeous late summer in upstate New York. But of course, before we head out to Horse Haven, let's get a preview of tonight's action with the pregame show and our host, Chris Lewis.
Thanks, Jimmy. All right, first things first, happy birthday, Kaylin. Kaylin
Woo!
Thank you.
I've got her pictured here with her stakes winner spot head, and that was her on Kentucky Derby Day. And it was super nice of her to let us have horse racing on her birthday. She's great. Happy birthday, Kaylin.
Thank you.
All right.
Happy birthday, Kaylin.
Thank you.
Let's see, race day 17 storylines. On race day 16, which was last time out, Jimmy extended his consecutive race day win streak to 7.
Woo.
And as we discussed last time, the next longest streak was 3. Nate's done that twice, and Casey did it once. Not on my slide, but I should mention, Charlie had a decently rough stretch, but he got 2 wins on day 16. All right, we'll talk about the battle for third, and then the battle for first, which I'm subtitling Andrew Won't Go Away. Next time we meet will be the Breeders' Cup meet with tons of money available. The biggest race of them all, the Breeders' Cup Classic, will finish us off. 13 stakes races, a 16-race schedule, and a party at my house. If you can make it, let me know. All right, so first, the battle for third. When we ended the broadcast last time, I hadn't put the costs in through race day 17. Now I have, and third place is a virtual tie. They're a mere $450 apart. It's insane how close. All right, so these are the remaining purses. You can see there's a lot more money available on day 18, of course. For Jesse and Johnny to try to sort it out between them, the two of them. But there's 2 races today that have the largest purses. Jesse took today off, saving up for the big day 18 purses. Johnny, like a sniper, entered horses into those 2 big purse races today, and he has the favorites in both. In race 5, the race 5 favorite is Chasmo 69, owned by Johnny, and the race 6 favorite is Sapphire Surge, owned by Johnny. So he's trying to make up, or to get a little advantage over Jesse heading into day 18. It'll be interesting to see how that sorts out. All right, the battle for first. Andrew Won't Go Away. Every time it looks like Nate's going to pull away, Andrew answers. Here's the win totals from days 13, 14, 15, and 16. Today is 17. Look, both stables have 4 wins over the last 4 days. They both have 6 wins over the last 5 days, and they both have 7 wins over the last 7 days. And look, so they were, this is about the halfway point. They were even. Then Nate gets 1, Andrew answers, he gets 2. Then Nate gets 3, and then Andrew answers, he gets 2, and they've been alternating who has a day with wins. But each time Nate wins and Andrew doesn't, the lead looks real big, but Andrew answers. Today, Andrew has entered 14 horses in races. Nate has only entered 5, but arguably 2 or 3 favorites or co-favorites if you account for fatigue. Does Nate have today? All right, I was lucky enough to wrangle Andrew for an interview. Andrew, thanks for joining us.
Yes, I am glad to be here again for at least another week.
Good deal. So, all right, hey, every time Nate seems to be pulling away, you seem to answer. You even had more than one occasion where your horses have swept the top 3 or 4 spots in a couple races. With 2 race days left, how do you like your chances to be HRFL's inaugural champion?
So first, in honor of Kaylin's birthday, I'm going to drop an inside joke and say that I'm going to talk a little cobbler here for a second. So this entire season, or I'll say at least the second half of the season, I've really been working on a run rest schedule that's been working out for my stable. And I have a lot of experience following and betting on the Iditarod dog sled race. And that's really the important balance that the mushers and canine athletes have to find with each other. So I might not win every single week, but I put myself into a position where if that happens, it's not going to be devastating. And even if I do go out and lose on a big week that I was hoping to win, I'm still going to be able to rebound. So with that run race strategy in mind, I'm really, or the run rest strategy in mind, I'm able to kind of negate things that I can't control, like the weather or the other horses that are in the race. So I'm able to focus on the horses that I want to race when I want to race them and put myself in the best position to win. And with that in mind, I like my chances the same as I like my chances week 1 to come out and come out and win. Nate, I wasn't expecting to be as strong of a competitor, but again, I'm doing what I can do. I'm running the way that I want to run, and I think I'm in a pretty good position. So I like my chances the same as I did 6 weeks ago or however many weeks ago.
Nice, man. And that's no insult to Nate. Nate's the amount that he has won has had to have been a surprise to just about everybody. All right, and now as we mentioned, it is raining today in Saratoga, but Andrew, you know better than anyone else in the league. What are late summer evenings like in upstate New York?
I'd say they're predictably unpredictable. Down here in the South, we're still, kind of enjoying summer, and it really doesn't even feel like summer's coming to an end yet. I do know up north that it has been a little bit cooler. The weather has been a little bit wetter, and specifically today in Saratoga, it has been cool and rainy. And again, like I said, I'm trusting my horses when it comes to the weather conditions, which of course I can't control. And it's going to come out how it comes out. And yeah, to me, the weather shouldn't be that much of a factor. And I think that's kind of the way that I've been trying to plan it. So we'll see.
All right, thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so here's a look at the standings. Before we head to the track, again, that 3rd place is a virtual tie. Nate's got a $400,000 cushion on Andrew at the top, but a lot of money available on the last day. All right, let's get the dark horse detective, Jimmy.
All right. Sorry, I was just checking out my Iditarod fantasy team here before we get to this.
Bet on Dallas CV.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, I'll have to find a dark horse in that race as well. But as for today's races, I've got a little bit of a bias. I went with Renegade Chop, my girl in race 6. Not a huge dark horse. E grade horse. There is a C grade and 2 D grade horses in the race, so definitely not a favorite. but not necessarily one you'd expect to finish in the back. I'm picking her to win, though, not hedging anything with a place or show. She's great on the turf. She's great at the short distances. And I think this is going to be the one. She does have 2 victories under her belt. And so there you go. Renegade Chop to win race number 6.
Great. And we've got a fun announcement for race day 18 next time out. Jimmy's going to give us 2 dark horses. So we're looking forward to that.
Yes, I'll have my Iditarod dark horse.
Oh,
ready
and
for
I
that
all right.
race. There we go.
All right. So there we are. We're raining in Saratoga. But I think we're ready to go.
We're ready to head out to the slop
Yes. Oh,
in
let's get
Saratoga.
hey, Jimmy, while I pull up the race, you go ahead and preview number
All
1.
right, let's do it. Yeah, just 6 races today, a short schedule. And as I said, our penultimate race day of the season for the big day in 2 weeks. But without further ado, let's get started here at the beautiful Saratoga race course. We should have a close one to start. Just J's and K's here in race number 1, $20,000 purse. One of our 3 allowance races, 10.5 furlongs in the slop, in the mud, in the wet dirt here at Saratoga. And just one former winner, Bite Size, out in the 10, gate number 10. And yeah, a few maiden horses here. So Andrew with 3 of his stable in this one: Junior Bacon, Almost Yankee, and Cliventricus.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll tell you what, this has never happened before, but our image hosting service, which worked well for me all week, can't even load the background image. So this is see if I can let's give him one
It's
more.
because that's how bad the weather is right now.
Okay, that's what we'll say. No,
It's the
that's horrible.
slop, man.
That's horrible.
The slop is unavailable.
All right. Well, this is what it looks like. It's rainy, guys. So rainy. It's
The blue means rain.
Yeah. Okay. Ready to go, Jimmy?
All right, let's do it. Race number 1. They're in the gate and they're off. Almost Yankee and Cliventricus for Andrew. Out to an even start along with Earthling. Oh, Long Johnson, etc. Windy City. They're in 5th, followed by Bite Size. Goes without saying. Junior Bacon, Almost Yankee back of the pack now. Eye Candy ahead of them, but it's Long Johnson and Windy City setting the pace past the halfway point, coming around the turn. Eye Candy now up into 3rd. It's a close race between Windy City and Long Johnson, going back and forth, switching the lead. Long Johnson trying to pull away, but Windy City not far behind. Eye Candy charging late, along with Bite Size. It's going to be a close one as you come to the finish, but it's going to be Long Johnson for the win. Windy City in 2nd. Eye Candy in 3rd. Bite Size 4th, followed by Earthling. Goes without saying. Junior Bacon, Cliventricus, and Almost Yankee, all of Andrew's horses in the back of the pack, and etc. the trailer. Congrats to the free agent Long Johnson.
Yeah. Yep. Congrats, Long Johnson. Then Windy City finishing 2nd. All right.
Very nice.
Let's check out race number 2.
All right.
You know what? And I watched the races this week from time to time a little bit, and I was so impressed with how it loaded every single horse image. I was like, oh wow, they fixed it even.
They just switched it up on you, I guess.
Man. Okay. Let's look at race number 2, a claiming race for 20 grand.
All right. Yeah. 3 claiming races today. This is our first one. And we've got a very mixed field. Brett's got 5 horses in this race.
He's got 6.
He's got 6. I can't even count. How about that?
And I believe it's the first time we've ever had 6 horses from one stable in a race.
Wow.
So this is one, let's see. Yeah, so I mentioned that if you account for fatigue, Nate might have some favorites. So
Indeed.
the grade favorites are Brett's horses, but they're very tired. If you take those out, the best grade is Rigbone as a G grade horse, Nate's horse.
Indeed. And yeah, Brett really stretching, trying to find out how much this fatigue actually affects the horses here, I feel like, because we've never seen numbers like this as far as fatigue factor.
Yeah.
Obviously it is just the first season, but yeah, he might be. We'll see. Maybe he's running them ragged. Maybe they're all warmed up. We'll see.
So perhaps, yeah, he's doing an experiment. All right, race number 2.
All right, back out to the service unavailable turf.
It's raining.
It's
Okay.
still raining in the mud, and they're off. Gadsden Tide, Central Bank nowadays. Try again. Out early. We've got try again. Buttons and Zips in that. Mediocre Samaritan setting the pace. Nowadays, not far behind, but it's Buttons and Zips in that leading as we head toward the halfway point. Mediocre Samaritan now in the lead. Try again right there, and now they take the lead. Coach Cleaver has made a charge and now trying to pull away from the field. Mediocre Samaritan catching him. It's a 2-horse race as we come down the stretch. Mediocre Samaritan, Coach Cleaver, try again, making it a 3-horse race, and now pulling away from the field. It's try again with the late charge, and they get the victory. Followed by Mediocre Samaritan in second, iGoat Dynasty in third, Database, Buttons and Zips in that, Gadsden Tide ending the group with the money, Red Scamper in seventh, followed by Coach Cleaver, Gefilte Fish, Nowadays, Prospectus, Central Bank, Zoom Legionnaire, Body Surfer, and Rigbone. Congrats. Try again. Brett with the first, third, and sixth horse here in this race. Nate in second with Mediocre Samaritan.
Congrats to Brett and try again. And let's address Rigbone here. Injured in the race, didn't finish.
Oh, yes.
It was an injury of the least severe severity. So Rigbone will even be available next week, but we'll have the double race fatigue for that.
Nice.
So he's going to be okay.
Nice. Any claims, Chris?
There were no claims.
All right. No claims in our first claims race. We've got 2 more here to follow. Races 3 and 4, both claims races. As we head to race number 3, this one's still on the dirt, 10 furlongs. And Brett with 2 E's and an F entered here. Nate's got his F there. Sudden Burst and a G, Arbitrary Lines. The winner of three races, 3 of their 6 races, Arbitrary Lines. And any favorites there, Chris? Chips them down in Business Savvy.
Yep, certainly them. But again, Brett's stables are tired. And we shouldn't have taken them out for the last race. Try again. Brett's horse won, but if you do ignore Brett's tired horses, the grade favorite in this one is Sudden Burst, owned by Nate.
Nice.
All right, let's go to the track.
All right, let's do it. Back out in the rain, back in the slop. And they're off. Business Savvy, Fighting Orange, Sprinkles, Chips and Medallion. Let's Play 2, Arbitrary Lines. Even as we come around the first turn, it's Arbitrary Lines taking a lead now by more than a length as we get the halfway point. Let's Play 2 in second. All I Could Afford, the 3 of them setting the pace. And actually it's Arbitrary Lines blowing away the field as we come around the last turn. Arbitrary Lines, it's their race to lose. All I Could Afford, Sudden Burst with a Sudden Burst in a second. And Nate's 2 horses are running it right now. Arbitrary Lines blowing away the field, and they win it. It's a race for second right now. Sudden Burst, All I Could Afford, going to be coming to the line, and Sudden Burst makes it a 1-2 finish for Nate's stable. Third comes Anecdotal Observer, followed by Business Savvy. All I Could Afford, Play Make Believe, Fighting Orange, Sprinkle. That's Sprinkles. Stupid image service. Chips and Medallion. And Let's Play 2, the trailer. Congrats to Nate. That's another victory for the leading stable.
Yeah, congrats, Nate. He got the first and second place finish. And I feel like Nate maybe needed that after the rig bone injury in the last race. This is good for morale. It's horrible for Andrew though. First and second place finish. And check this out. Arbitrary Lines with a fourth career win ties A grade horse Portugal the Fast for the most all time.
Wow.
And they've only been in 4 races.
Wow.
Or excuse me, 7 races. So more than half the time, Arbitrary Lines wins. And it's a G grade horse. If I would have told you at the beginning of the year that towards the end of the year, the 2 horses with the most wins would include a G grade horse, would you have believed me?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So
This
congrats.
is exactly how I drew it up, guys. Exactly how I planned it.
I would have think you were playing make believe, Chris. That's what I would have.
Hey. Yeah. So
Anybody
I
any
think-
claims?
there were no claims for this race either. I think Arbitrary Lines has a killer instinct.
Yeah, blowing away the field there.
Yeah.
Pretty
But
much without a doubt after the halfway point.
So when this updates, it'll be 7-4-1-0. So also a second place finish. G grade horse. Crazy success for Arbitrary Lines.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right,
All
congrats.
right, we're halfway.
Congrats
Yeah,
to Nate.
congrats again to Nate for sure. 1-2 punch there in race number 3. We're halfway home tonight. Let's go to race number 4. This one over on the turf. Short 8 furlongs, and should be a close one here. Lots of just all F's and G's here. Andrew with 3. Nate's got Usurper, and Johnny's got Antithesis with 4 free agents thrown in there.
To me, what's interesting about this one is that we got 3 Andrew horses and 1 Nate horse. So we'll see. And the purse is a little bigger. The purse is a little bigger than the last race.
For sure.
All right. It might be just the dirt track image that's not working.
Oh, there we go.
We've got the turf here.
Out on the wet grass here at Saratoga.
All right.
And 9 horses in the gate. And they're off. Robotron Ride 3000 out early, followed by Osmosis Moses. Antithesis now in second. Master of his Domain in third. You big fourth. Ping Pong now up in the third. But Antithesis setting the pace as we come down to the halfway point. 3-horse race. Stratocaster, Canvas, and Ping Pong up in first and second. Master of his Domain makes it the top 3 for Andrew as we come around the final turn. Stratocaster, Canvas, Ping Pong, Master of his Domain. But Antithesis and Usurper closing. We've got a 4, 5, maybe 6-horse race. Antithesis now in the lead and trying to pull away, but Ping Pong not far behind. Overtakes him. Ping Pong, Usurper with the late close, and it's Usurper getting another victory for Nate. Back-to-back wins for the number 1 stable. Stratocaster, Canvas, and Ping Pong for Andrew getting the place and the show. Followed by Antithesis, Robotron Ride 3000, Ya Big, Helicopter, Master of his Domain, and Osmosis, don't call him Jones, Moses, the trailer.
How about
Nate,
that race?
23 wins on the season for Nate.
Congrats to Nate.
Cheating there in the chat. Thanks, Nate.
Let's look at this one a little bit. So at this point, Andrew's got the top 3 horses. And
absolutely. Usurper back of the field there. Late,
yes.
Very late charge there by Usurper to overtake everybody, but
start slow. At this point, Andrew's got the top 3. Still has the top 3. Looking good. And then when we get to here.
Wow.
Nate's even, and then Usurper usurps them all.
That's right.
Right at the line. So yeah, congrats to Nate. Andrew second and third is a decent consolation prize. But that's a win for Nate. No claims, Jimmy. So that's we had 3 claiming races today. No claims in any of them.
Well, you tried, Chris. You threw as many claiming races as you could in there to try to get us to get some claims, but nobody wanted to bite.
No bites.
But a valiant effort either way.
All
All
right.
right, two races left. Let's go to race number 5, our longest race of the day, 12 furlongs, back out in the mud, in the blue, sky blue rain.
Yeah.
And we've got 13 horses, 5 of them from the second place Andrew's stable. Nate not in this one, so Andrew able to make up some ground, or will try to make up some ground in this one. Zach's got 2 of them, Prickly Pete and Brostradamus. Johnny also won with Chasmo 69, and Kaylin with her lone entry of the day, Jeffersonian, the D-grade horse. Maybe not a favorite, but definitely right there. Chasmo 69, the C grade, Jeffersonian, a D grade. So definitely up there close to favorite status.
Yes. And yeah, Johnny's horse, this is one of the ones I highlighted in the pregame show, as an opportunity for Johnny to make a real move on third place.
Indeed. All right, let's head back out to the slop. Last race in the slop of the day, and they're off. Mr. Edward out early to the lead. Just the Messenger, Digital Cluther, 3 free agents setting the pace as we come around the first turn. Brostradamus and Prickly Pete now 3rd and 4th, but it's Mr. Edward with a full-length lead over the field, past the halfway point. Prickly Pete, Brostradamus for Zach, running 2nd and 3rd, trying to keep up with Mr. Edward, who's setting the pace, and the field is trying to catch, but Mr. Edward got another charge. Full-length lead over the field still. Chasmo 69 charging late, though. And right there, it's a 2-horse race for the finish. It's going to be a photo finish, and it's Mr. Edward by a nose with the win. Chasmo 69 in 2nd, followed by Brostradamus, Jeffersonian in 4th, Digital Clutter 5th, Just the Messenger, and then it goes Prickly Pete, Amplified, Division by 0, Mapmaker, Yankee Clipper, W Sauce, y'all, and Gratitude, the trailer. Andrew's horses, sad for Andrew there. Really couldn't do much worse.
Yeah, and
5 of
congrats
the final 6, but yeah, congrats to Mr. Edward, and then Johnny
on the
there in
upset.
2nd, the highest owner in the money.
Yeah, upset win there for Mr. Edward.
Indeed. I think he was one of my dark horses, or I'm sorry, she was one of my dark horses at one point.
Okay.
Not this week. Not this week.
All
Congrats
right,
to
so
Mr. Edwards there, Mr. Edward.
we've got one race left on the calendar, and then it's just Breeders' Cup meet after that.
Indeed.
In this one, Jimmy, I highlighted Sapphire Surge in the pregame as a horse that could give Johnny an opportunity really at 3rd place. I know we've also got your dark horse here, Renegade Chop, and your streak of 7 consecutive race days with a win
On the line.
It's
on the line. Wow. So that would be my dark horse. As I said, going for it. I've also got a D-grade horse uphill both ways in this one as well. But a lot of the grades represented in this race. And 3 multiple race winners. She said Sapphire Surge, my girl Renegade Chop, and Berserk, the free agent, also winner of 2 races. Big John won it before, another podcast also. So yeah, should be a good one. A short one though, just 6 furlongs on the turf, $85,000 purse.
All right,
And
in the rain in
here we go.
Saratoga.
The last race of the penultimate race day here. The Graveyard of Champions, Saratoga Racecourse. They're in the gates. And they're off. My girl Renegade Chop out early. Short lead. Berserk now taking it. Persnickety right there. Sapphire Surge now up into 2nd. Berserk maintaining the lead, but it's about a 4 or 5 horse race as we approach the halfway point in the backstretch. Tacticulator now up into 2nd, taking the lead. Tacticulator, nice surge there. Berserk in second. Sapphire Surge now back up in the third. Renegade Chop in fourth. Berserk taking the lead, switching with Sapphire Surge. It's back and forth. 3-horse race. Renegade Chop now in the lead. Now it's Sapphire Surge surging in the backstretch. And it's Sapphire Surge with the victory for Johnny. Renegade Chop doesn't get the win, but gets the place. Tacticulator the show. Persnickety in fourth. Big John fifth. Berserk in sixth. And followed by Off Color, another podcast, Uphill Both Ways, Bear Patrol, The Wet Bandit, and Mix
the natural.
the Natural. I should know that. The trailer. But congrats, Johnny. Sapphire Surge, one of your favorites, of course, with the victory in the final race of the day.
Congrats to Johnny. Andrew says, on an unrelated note, I'll be selling cheap organic dog food this week if anyone's interested. Well, hey, maybe day 18 will do it. Because, as I mentioned in the pregame show, every time Nate seems to pull away, Andrew answers. He might have a big chance to do that day 18.
Indeed.
Yeah, because that was another 2 wins for Nate.
And my streak finally ended there. Renegade Chop gave it all she could, but
yeah, and hey,
the streak is over.
Your dark horse got second, and that's close. We will mention that you were close on the Dark Horse Detective page, like we have a few times before. So we'll mention it. All right,
nice.
Let's update the standings.
I was one off both times with Renegade Chop. Picked her to show, and she finished fourth. Pick her to win, and she places. So maybe getting those 2 dark horse picks in the final race day 18 will finally get one in the win column.
Maybe that'll do it. All right, this time I have updated the costs through day 18, other than everyone's, of course, entry fees for the stakes races. So there you go. Nate's lead is 481,000, just about. And Johnny did get his $50,000 lead, passing Jesse for third. Rounding out in the money is Jimmy in fifth and Christian in sixth. But hey, next week we got
16 races.
Yeah. 13
huge purses.
Actually, let's pull up this.
Big purses.
Yeah. So
we've got,
I'm
what is
excited.
that about? Yeah, there's like 10 purses of at least, I'm sorry, 12 of at least
13 stakes races, 13 of at least 200
something
grand.
like 12 or 13 of at least 200 grand. We've got 350 for one, and of course your big boy, the Breeders' Cup Classic, a purse of $1.1 million.
Yeah, so we'll get it all resolved next time out in 2 weeks.
For sure.
All right. Well, I'll get this stuff updated. I'm tempted to find a different image hosting website, but man, that would be so much work.
Yeah, you get them on the horn here.
Yeah,
Something.
I think I got to send them another email.
Send them an image.
Yeah.
There, say this is what you're supposed to be hosting for us.
Ooh, it's suggesting that some of the images are working now.
Oh, don't do that.
Look at that.
No.
Okay. This is what the dirt track looked like had we not been blinded by all the blue rain.
There's the slop.
Yeah, this is races 1, 2, 3, and 5 today. That's what the track looked like in Saratoga. It's unreal.
Can we do them all again? I'm okay with it.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to post single race replays here, and if you want to watch them, you can go there.
Nice.
All right, we're wishing Rigbone a fast recovery. Congrats to Nate on the 2 wins. Congrats to Johnny and Brett on their wins. And let me know if you can make it to the party. September 14th, it's Saturday. in 2 weeks. Happy birthday, Kaylin.
And
Thank-
Chris, happy birthday, Chris, too.
Oh, hey, thanks. Thank you, sir.
Big birthday week there.
All right, everyone. Have a good night. Jimmy, you can sign us off.
Nice. All right. For Chris Lewis, I'm Jimmy Rakes. We'll see you for the final race day of the year. 2 weeks from yesterday, September 14th, Saturday, live from Lewis Downs for the Breeders' Cup meet. Good night, everybody.